I'm going to read some of my brother's work. Snowbanks were trussed and bundled, were agglomerations of fused, pale brains, and the streets, their gnarled, silvery inlays of ice stretched away, blasted as Pluto's surface. And the cold was dense, harried my eyeballs. My frozen thumbs felt like sickles jammed into the flesh of my hands. The cold billowed, it shimmered, seemed to hunch, sullenly, solemnly, colossally. Down the sky seemed to slouch. Cold is a nail, cold is a tooth. Skin. The rash on my face spread around one eye so severe I wore a patch. Plastic, pinkish, beveled, stiff, shiny triangle under which I jammed a wad of cotton that pressed against my eye like the pale, spatulate thumb of an enormous, tropical, poisonous toad. Home, 10. Getting up to pee at night, I searched for the light switch. The swirling rotation repeated. My hand made on the wall that of smoothing mud pies or rubbing backs to assuage grief. The sound of my hand on the plaster, rasping, hissing, an analogy, sonic, to the darkness, its steadfast granular shimmer, its indigesity, its gray blackness. Straight-backed chairs loomed like enormous jackals' heads. Lights outside, lonely and glowing, looked as fixed as the lights of locomotives in a book of dreams. Lights reflected through windows hovered in ingots on the walls. Moon, slice of rotten banana, snow, the yellowy violet of an old bruise. I turned toward the light bulb and, hitting the switch, was, for an instant, blinded. I blinked and blinked furiously, the molten after-image of the filament flicking frog's tongue. The water I poured myself was so cold it froze the tips of my fingers through the cup. The water was so cold it made my teeth feel as though they'd been hammered into my head. A vitriolic cold, a silvery taste of mercury imagined. My eyes, reflected in the cup's ceramic bottom, had an ancient ruminative anxiety about them, raw, lashless eyes of newborn pigs. Were the shape of a saddle, eyes that loomed above me as a rapist's would. A towel lay twisted on the floor, peltish, cuntish. The snot in toilet paper was interpoled in tiny spheres, the way hunks of amber holding insects are. Faucets had the appearance of crowns. Back in bed, lay curled, corpse in a car's trunk, felt the weight of planets like breasts, sacks of millet on my raw, naked head. Skin. Rash spread around both my eyes, mask, raccoons, thieves, robins. Bridged my nose's bridge, scarlet imprint left by snorkeling masks, left by leeches, medieval. School, 10. The sun smiting the air, its molecules and them swaying, and smoke whipping upwards, haggard from chimneys. All this scene from the bus stop, my body clenched in the cold like a fist. The bus to school was hot and I would doze. Here, martial sibilance of snowsuits, kids' nylon snowsuited thighs rubbing together, produced rapid sequences of wolf whistles, choirs of construction workers. The bus to school was hot and I would doze. Here, voices chanting in the engine, this drony throat. Passing fields flat as a nail. Snow creased like pant legs. Rushes thrusting up beside creeks like the tails of charging warthogs. Sun hurtling through the trees. Birch trees huddled as though at a seance. Beneath, stars frozen paparazzi, wolfish stars, stars as panting tongues. Distant figures bobbling in the manner of pistons, distant figures wagging like severed penises, way an amputated limb might. Beneath streetlights yellow of ginkgo's leaves, shrubs suggested tarred and feathered bodies. Shrubs were crouching, copulating pederasts, catamites beneath clouds, cubiness of veal fattening pins, knobbiness of chef's hats. Clouds Davy Crockett's coonskin cap, clouds out cold, coshed veterinarians. Moon a canteen, chamber pot, distorted pale booth, bolus, Caligula's head, pix. Moon, this shrieking soprano, cast evil light down onto trees resembling bowls, bustles above people, weaving like turkeys' necks, above twigs resembling clove cigarettes. Blind moonlight fell onto blind stones, pebbles, tiny, sinister hearts onto dogs' shits, the disembodied miniaturized blades of broadswords, nubs of shit, the nubby stub of the Manx cat's tail, shits squashed into Cupid's wings, shits Scylla. Moonlight fell onto morgue ticket dead leaves, fell onto me walking. The night air was chambered, and on some nights you could smell the high, wild smell of distant snow.